Welcome to Enactus Career Chats. Over the series of this video podcast, we will be discussing career journeys with Enactus alum. Today, I'm super excited to have with us Jack Graham. Jack's a proud alumni and graduate of Carthage College, where he was really involved with the Enactus team there. And just recently, he joined Topco, which is one of Enactus's partners. So welcome, Jack. It's great to have you here with us.
Thank you.
And we'll just kind of dive right in. If you want to do any further introduction, feel free to.
I mean, you pretty much hit on the spot there, and you guys are going to get to know me pretty well through all these questions, let me tell you.
Nice. Well, let's just jump right in.
How it originally started was pretty much actually in high school. So in high school, I realized pretty quickly that if I have time by myself, and if I have time, I'm not going to be productive. I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to push things off. I'm going to, it's not going to be good for me. So going into college, I was like, okay, we can't have that. So I need to get involved. I need to get involved quickly. And what I did was I actually went to the org fair and signed up for every single club. Every single one. Let me tell you how big of a mistake that was when I got the emails the next day of, hey, come to this meeting. Big mistake. But I was able to actually go to some of them, and I was able to actually go to Enactus's first meeting. And in the first meeting we had, Caitlin Yarka, she gave this amazing presentation about how I can have an impact on the world. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, I'm interested. Then I go to the second meeting. And then in the second meeting, that's where I was able to learn about all the amazing projects we work on. There was probably around 3 projects that really caught my eye. We have Days for Girls, Piggy Bank, and Hold the Phone. Those 3 were the ones that caught my eye immediately. And from then, I was hooked. I was like, just seeing the passion that the now alumni had, it carried over hands down. And I just got that same passion. I was ready to roll.
So have you been in touch with the team since you graduated? Like, how are you staying in contact?
Oh yeah, still in contact. We are all like best friends from working on these projects, and everybody just cares so much about them and the time you spend on them, your lives kind of mesh and everybody becomes like super close. I talk to the now president every day. A couple of the team, one of them actually just got an internship from Topco as well. He's one of my really good buddies. So still in contact with them pretty much every day.
That's awesome.
Days for Girls is where we make feminine hygiene kits and distribute them all over the world. And one of the coolest and one of my favorite memories of Enactus actually was hand delivering these feminine hygiene kits to these women in these amazing countries. How it works is Carthage has this amazing program where for the month of January, we have a J-term. And you have a couple options. You could take a J-term class on campus. You can take the semester or that month off if you wanted to, if your credits allow, or you could take a J-term trip. And these trips consist of all over the world. We have trips to Honduras, Costa Rica, Africa, all over. And these trips are every year. So we know and we can plan and make sure, not COVID, but you can plan ahead, and that the professors go there every year. So how Days for Girls started was those connections with those professors, and they have amazing relationships with the people of these countries that need help. So what we did was we were able to make these feminine hygiene kits. They consisted of reusable pads, toothbrushes, soaps, and this opaque bag to, obviously privacy is a big concern there. And so hand delivering those to the women there is one of the coolest experiences I've had at Enactus. Just seeing, the culture and the project go full circle. I sewed. I didn't know how to sew. Awful at sewing. I probably scrapped at least 5 or 6 of them, but I learned how to sew the reusable pads, and seeing my work go to them and just seeing how it can change their life was one of the coolest things. Besides the basic answer of, teamwork and all that, high pressure situations for sure. That is a big one. Enactus has definitely taught me, just being a part of the nationals team and things like that, and seeing the projects and how much, pressure not only we put on ourselves, but how big of a deal these projects are. Coming into a workplace and a job where these projects are at the same caliber, you care just as much. There's just as much stake into these projects, and those high pressure presentations, they prepare you. Once you get comfortable with them, the rest, they go pretty easily. That was actually one of my big things too, was kind of just dealing with high pressure situations and getting very comfortable with uncomfortable situations. So again, high school. So a little bit about me. I'm a big planner. Like my life, I try to follow it step by step.
I think that's a lot of Enactus students, right? I think that's a common characteristic.
Probably is. And from my freshman year, my family and I kind of came up with a plan of freshman year, don't stress, get comfortable to college. Don't worry too much. Just figure it out, get involved, figure it out. And so then sophomore year, they're like, okay, we should probably have an internship, something in business, because I knew I wanted business, just something in business. Go get your feet wet. Okay, got an internship there. So then my freshman year, don't worry about it. And then my sophomore year, summer, get an internship in business, something, I knew I wanted business. So something in the field, doesn't have to be anything too crazy. Then my junior year, more specific, put it more into like a field that you were passionate about, something you like, and then have that internship progress into a job. That was the goal. Did not happen. Little thing called COVID came around and messed it all up. So my senior year, I didn't have a job, and I was putting, again, high pressure on myself. I'm like, okay, I need to have a job. I need to graduate with a job. I need to do something. So that's when I'm like, okay, it's time to reach out to my network. It's time to reach out to everybody I could possibly think of. And that's where I'm like, okay, let's hit up Enactus. Let's see what we can do there. I know they work with amazing partners all the time. Let's see what kind of information they have. I talked to the president at the time, Jacqueline, and she got me in contact with you. And you were able to set me up with a meeting with Emily. And yeah, Emily is in my interview. She probably will hate me for telling you this, but how it started was basic interview, pretty normal interview that everybody kind of prepares for, those basic questions, the normal ones. But then she caught me totally off guard. I was like, wait, what? What did you say? She asked me why I chose Carthage. And she asked me questions like about family and, my hobbies and things like that. And I was like, this is totally different. Why would a company want to know that? And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, they want to get to know me personally. Like they want to get to know Jack and what makes Jack Jack. And so once from that moment, Emily and I connected and things just rolled from there. At first, I was looking for a full-time position, but realizing how badly I just wanted to be a part of Topco, I was willing to take whatever they gave me.
So you, sounds like as soon as Emily started asking more about personal and about Jack, that really attracted you to the company and
100%. And it's interesting because so I took an internship. They said, Jack, unfortunately, we don't have a position. Would you be open to an internship? And I was like, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And in that internship, that the company wanting to be personal and get to know me, it didn't end. It actually progressed more. It was nuts, where we actually were able to meet with the CEOs and, you know, the high level from top down leadership teams. We were able to actually talk to them and ask them questions about their jobs. How did they start? How did they, like, where are they now? All of those. And they asked us questions back, and the relationships and the caring, it never ends. They really do care. And that's something that I was like, hands down, absolutely, I'm in for.
Did you interview with any other companies, or did you consider other companies?
I did. There was a bunch, actually. There was a lot of amazing companies that I interviewed with and got connected with, and they were all great in their own ways. Something that I realized pretty throughout my college was actually, throughout those internships that I've had a really big internship, and I've had a really small internship where the company was a really big company, and then I had an internship with a really small company. And there's pros and cons to both. But I realized I wanted something in between. And again, that was Topco. Topco had the opportunity to be a really big company when it comes to dollar size, but when it comes to employee size, they're relatively small, if not medium. So I was able to have those personal connections, but still have that big company, you know, background too.
So did you anticipate coming out of school that you would work for a food distribution company, a CPG type company?
Yeah.
Talk to me about how that unfolded and how your perception might have changed, you know, through the process.
Yeah. So I was kind of just, my goal out of college was like, let's go medical. You know, that seems like a safe bet. I was like, let's go medical, let's go pharmaceuticals. That seems like a really smart idea, because I wanted a safe job. I didn't want something that was going to be like, you might not have a job tomorrow because of the, you know, economy or whatnot, whatever, uncertainty. So I was like, okay, pharmaceutical, can't get more safe than that. Let's roll there. Just didn't work out that way. Once I saw like, okay, what's next? What else is a good thing? And I'm like, okay, CPGs. Everybody's always buying something. Like, it doesn't matter what the actual, you know, company is, just something where a company makes a product. And I was like, okay, that seems like a safer bet too. And it ended up working out where Topco is in their own unique field where they source majority of their stuff. And yeah, it's awesome. They're able to help the membership be successful during COVID, and they're able to make sure we always have toilet paper in the shelves at our superstores.
That's a big plus.
All over them. It really is.
Yeah.
Just throughout like this whole COVID stuff, we were able to help make sure our membership stays afloat and stay competitive. And we were able to do extremely well, if not better than normal years, because of it. We didn't learn a single thing about a co-op. The only time I've ever heard about a co-op was our family farm and where everybody stores their grain. Like, that was the only time I've ever heard about a co-op. I'm like, there's a business model that is a co-op? This is okay. I'm intrigued. So how the membership works is we are owned by the stores. So the memberships consist of Hy-Vee, Stater Brothers, Spartan Ash, the list continues. There's over 48 different stores. Wow. And they own us. It's our job to make sure we get everything that they possibly need for them. That's from cars that they could need for delivering, you know, produce, to the fresh produce of, you know, sourcing that from all over the world. It's honestly, it's one of the coolest things. It's definitely a different business model and that I learned in school. And it was something that definitely caught my eye. And I was like, okay, let's roll with it. I am a logistics specialist. So I work in the logistics department, and my job is to make sure that our warehouses, our correct inventory, making sure that we can get our products and our inventory to the membership as fast as possible to make sure, we feed the nation. So my day majority consists of, helping the warehouse, helping with, any issues that arise with the orders of, correct quantities, things like that. A lot of my day consists of, the logistics day-to-day tasks of, I deal a lot with Salesforce, making sure that everything is filled out in there correctly with our invoices, of monitoring the warehouse, make sure that it's getting paid and we're having a warehouse, things like that. First of all, I'm sorry. like I graduated and got into the job market peak COVID. It's not easy. So some advice I would give is do not give up. It will go away eventually. We don't know when, but eventually it will. And I hope companies change their perspective of hiring too. I hope that, they realize okay, these new college students, they're coming out into this world where we have never seen before. We need to open them with arms and say, wow, these kids buckled down when times got really hard and showed grit and determination to, stay competitive. Yeah, some big advice there is to not give up and just know that this too will end eventually and we'll persevere through it. Some other actionable things is if you are struggling to get a job, talk to Ray. I'm going to put Ray on the spot. Talk to Ray. He'll help you. He helped me. The amazing companies that Enactus has helped them, it's an opportunity and a network right at our fingertips. Half the time, just asking is the best thing you can do for your career. And then probably my final advice would probably be, if you're struggling to get a job right now, and it's hard, obviously, because of COVID, and you have time to yourself, instead of, watching Netflix and, being sad that, oh, I'm not good enough. No, you are good enough. And there's always ways to better yourself too, because LinkedIn and a couple other platforms have learnings on there. So you can better yourself too. I know just in my field and what I've learned in college, Salesforce, SAP, Oracle, these big, CRM systems or anything like that, companies use these daily. If you have that on your resume, Microsoft Office, all those things, that's going to have your resume stack up against someone else's, and they'll give you a better competitive edge. So always stay eager to learn as well and stay on top of things. It could be something completely random and you'll find it being very satisfying in the end.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because even at my age, which, little gray in the beard, learning new skills and learning new tools is always important. Yeah. And it doesn't always necessarily have to be in the field that you're working, right? So, for instance, this video podcast that we're putting on, I'm taking on the editing responsibilities for it, right? And I'm learning a new program. So if you're a marketing person, or if you're even in general business and you can pick up and learn Adobe Premiere Pro or, one of these programs, you may not sit down and be a video editor for the rest of your career, but in a pinch, could you put together something that would be reliable and would look nice and would get your message out? When the resources in the company are being focused elsewhere and you want to get this project done, right? I mean, that's something that I think a lot of students could really, now's the time. You mentioned
exactly
sitting around watching Netflix or learning, watching some YouTube videos, which they're all over the place, YouTube primers on how to do this or how to do that, Salesforce, ADP, Adobe, all these different programs.
Personally, to me, I was one of those people that I love to conquer fears. Conquering fears is one of my, I love to do that. So one of the big things for me that frightens me was presenting. Hated it. Stage fright, hated talking. One-on-one, talking to people, love it, no issues. But getting in a big audience freaks me out. So something that helped me personally, and some advice, is realizing that everybody is human, and putting yourself in their shoes and realizing that, okay, these people that I'm so stressed out to present to, because, you know, they might be a CEO, or, you know, they might be some high exec that is really important. They go home and have dinner with their families. And, you know, they have conversations like you have conversations with yours. Realizing that everybody's human. And the biggest thing is that at one point in their life, they felt the exact same way you did. How nervous you are presenting, they felt that one time in their life too. So realizing that helped me so much, it wasn't even funny.
Yeah. And I think a lot of those same people, they want so much to help the early career talent, the early career professionals, because they know that that's the future of their company. And if you really boil it down, if I've got a pension or if I've got a 401k in this company, I need this new talent to succeed and be successful and carry the brand forward, because that's my retirement. And I know that sounds crass, but that's the truth.
It's true though. It's true.
And many of them, no doubt, many of them really, really do care about the individuals. So.
One of the big things I learned was life is like a bullseye, like a bullseye. Okay. And right now you're really comfortable in the center. Okay. That's where your comfort is, but there's rings outside of your comfort zone. And it's all about getting to that next level and progressing on to get, you know, more comfortable with the uncomfortable. So for me, like I said, presenting, scariest things. So how I combated that, not only was to have that, you know, ideology of thinking about that person was in my shoes at one point, I also got a job where I would present to over 250 plus families in admissions. So conquering those fears is something that I really want to do, and I was really passionate about. Another one is probably, I'm not a strong swimmer. Hate swimming. Yeah, not a good idea for me. Okay, I know I went to Carthage, where Lake Michigan is our back door, like it's our outside, but water shouldn't go in. Bad idea for me. What I did though was I got scuba certified and figured, okay, I'll learn how to breathe underwater. So having a career or an opportunity or venture where I'm able to conquer, you know, whatever fear is next in life is something I want to take. Whether that's, you know, this is going to be bad, but I know I mentioned that I really liked pharmaceuticals. I'm awful with needles and I'm awful with blood. Can't do it. I'll be out cold. Not a good idea for Jack. So maybe something in pharmacy.
All right. Well, Jack, it has been fantastic having you today and just sitting down and chatting a little bit about your career journey. So proud of you for landing at Topco. I'm sure if anybody's interested in learning more about Topco and opportunities there, I'll go ahead and put the link to not only Topco's page, but also the Enactus United States Career Marketplace. And you can learn more about Topco and other Enactus partners there. Also, you know, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, Jack.
Yeah, feel free. Go ahead.
So if there's any final thoughts, Jack, you want to?
Yeah, just honestly, thank you, Ray, for having me. I appreciate it. As well as for everybody that's listening, good luck. And hopefully everybody can stay healthy and safe during these unprecedented times. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching and listening, and have a great day.